Thank you very much. I can just speak. Can everyone hear me loudly and clearly? It's nice to see such a big turnout this morning for such an important event. We think it'll be an informative and interesting hour on an increasingly important topic. And we have two guests with us. It gives me great pleasure to introduce to you the Vice President for the European Commission and the Commissioner for the European Digital Agenda, Ms. Neelie Kroes. She is a notable and influential one of the most notable and influential policy officials in Europe. She's here to talk with Obama administration officials on transatlantic economic council issues, but in the wake of the establishment of this working group on cybersecurity and cyber crime issues last month in Lisbon, in which she'll have a leading role, we thought it would be useful to have a joint collaborative dialogue with her and Mr. Schmidt. How to anticipate and prepare and respond to cyber threats is an increasingly important issue industry is facing and governments are facing. And as the world becomes a more digitally complex place, trust in information and trust in data that travels through global networks is increasingly important. And so hopefully this working coalition that's been established will be able to address some of these issues. And Ms. Kroes will be right in the middle of the dialogue. I think she's familiar to everybody here. She is an individual who has served in the European continent for numerous decades. She started on a municipal council. She served in the Dutch Parliament. She was the Minister of Transport, Telecom, and Public Works, and has a distinguished career. She was the Commissioner for Competition Matters, and as I was speaking to Lorena earlier, they thought that they would enjoy an easier life after that, but then she was reappointed, and so the work continues. And we were thrilled to host Ms. Kroes at our facility in just north of Dublin, Ireland, our wafer fab, about 2 months ago. And as I said, I think she's one of the most influential and notable and impressive European policy officials. And it's a terrific opportunity to have her here and to listen to her. Let me speak briefly about Howard Schmidt, also a distinguished public servant of our country over a 30, 40-year time frame. Mr. Schmidt served 3 tours, starting his career in Southeast Asia during the Vietnam War era, which is always something to highlight first, so he's a veteran. Through the years, he has done impressive work creating a forensic computer lab at the Department of Defense. He's also served at eBay and Microsoft, and so he appreciates the multinational company perspective in terms of identifying risks and problems that we would face. And about a year ago was appointed by President Obama as essentially the chief computer expert and sleuth at the National Security Council. And so you will be making us rest easier during the holiday period. You'll be working hard, but thanks to your good efforts, hopefully we will be safe and sound. So we don't have a whole lot of time today. Ms. Kroes has got a busy schedule, so why don't I turn it over to her for her comments, and then Mr. Schmidt will speak afterwards.